I am not recommending this compressor. I'm just showing you what I did with the help of my good friend Richie, and that's all this video is about. I'm limited for space here in my garage, so I had to do things a little bit differently with setting up this air compressor. I had to tuck it away in a corner. It was really the only place I could put it. My old air compressor just wasn't doing the job for me. It was taking me so long, and I really was overworking it. I'll show you what I was using. I was using this, a 10-gallon air compressor. It's 4 horse, but it just doesn't keep up with the spare tank for extra volume. Mostly I needed a bigger machine because I use it to blow out my sprinkler system in the fall. Let me show you the hookup. Here's my timer, and the pipe comes up and splits off and goes out. Goes outside to the sprinkler system, to the manifold. But in line, I had put a boiler drain, and I have an adapter on there with a reducer that goes down to 1/4. Now that thing goes back into the house water out to the street. There's a one-way valve, and there's my shut off. It's off right now. I haven't charged the system yet, but that's how I blow out the lines from the inside out, and it works very well for me, except for I needed more volume. Now keep in mind, this is my first big tank. I'm really kind of new at this, so there's some good, there's some bad, and there's some ugly. So just keep that in mind. Well, having the tank in the corner was not the most ideal spot, but I'm going to continue to monitor the temperature of it. So I'll start with the electrical. I tied into a dryer outlet that I had. It wasn't being utilized for anything. It was a 240 outlet, and they had put it in for the dryer, but I have a gas dryer which only uses 110, and I took the line from there and utilized it for this. In running the line, I put in 10.3. We're about 85 feet from the panel, so according to everything that I've read, you should go up to the next step up. Minimum is a double 20 amp circuit, and this is a double 30 240. I ran 10.3, black, red, white, and also a bare copper. In case I ever change this over to something else, I'll have that 4th wire in there. For hooking this up, you only need 3 wires. The white neutral is not used. Just use the ground, the black, and the red. My neighbor Richie helped me with a lot of this project. He had a lot of plumbing experience, so he plumbed the tank for me. The big reducing nut over here, it just has a small little thin rubber seal on it, about 1/16 of an inch, and we know how the Chinese make rubber, so biggest complaint on these are leaking. So he plumbed this for me. He put on pipe dope and Wickham, did the same thing for the bottom, and it's nice and tight. It holds air very, very well. Very, very happy with it. Richie also plumbed up in copper, put it down to my hose reel. I had already bought a air pressure regulator in 3/8, so that was already ordered. So we tried to go as much 1/2 inches as we could. I bought some Goodyear line. I wanted to have a good distance to have available in case I ever moved the tank or swung it out or did maintenance. And I left myself some extra line with the wire. I have two shutoffs. One in case I need to go into the house. I can bring some air into the workshop if I need to, or run a hose upstairs. And the other one is for the copper line that goes to my hose reel. I bought a 100-foot length of the Goodyear air hose in half-inch fittings, and I knew I only needed about 15 feet for here, and I wanted to utilize the rest of it on a hose reel. I'll show you that. So looking online, all the hose reels that could fit half-inch were $150 and up. A lot of them were several $100s, so I just didn't feel it was a good option for me. So I found this. This is a hose reel made for 3/8. We had to do a little bit of adapting. I put a 90-degree black pipe fitting on that. It gave me better extension out onto the reel than the small little brass one that was on there. And to hook it over there, we put a bell. We went from the 3/8 to the half-inch copper. This is the hose reel, Grizzly hand crank. There's the number. I bought it on Amazon. I think it was $44 plus tax. Came out to about $50. It arrived here in about 2 or 3 days. They were very, very quick with it, and I'm very happy with it. It's made for 3/8 inch line. It can hold 100 feet or 3/8. So I have 85 feet of half-inch on this. It's not the prettiest picture. Like I said, there's some good, there's some bad, there's some ugly. I put a little bit of foam in here to keep that from kinking, and then I put a little tie wrap on over there, drilled a hole and put the tie wrap. But it fits it pretty good. This hose by Goodyear has a 10-year warranty on it. Now what to do with the old hose and the old reel? I'll show you what I did. I mounted it on a board. Have a little inlet there. I changed the fitting that was on there to 2 street L's, so it came in a little bit tighter and wound up on the reel better. And now I have this. So I have 85 on the big reel, I have 50 on this, and I can bring it anywhere I want to. I put on 4 rubber pads. I can place it down, it won't skid. Nice. This should be able to go all the way up to the shed. It's going to make working on my mowing deck and tractor a lot easier, using air tools as opposed to electric tools and drills and wire brushes. It's going to make it a lot nicer. You guys know I like synthetic products, so I found a synthetic compressor oil, and this is what I'm going to be using. Found this online at Amazon. Saw a few ideas on YouTube, and I thought I would incorporate those. One is I changed the drain valve from that stupid little thing to this 1/4 inch street L 90 degree into the bottom of the tank, 5-inch nipple, and 1/4 inch ball valve. I can drain it and just stick my foot on there and open up. I don't have to crawl on hands and knees and get underneath there anymore. The second thing, they had a little drain plug with a hex plug, and I changed it to this. It's a 3-inch nipple. I put a 45 on there because I thought it would just drip better when I drain it, and I decided not to use that little hex plug, but just use a square plug that you can find in any plumbing supply, and spray painted it with a hammer gray. think it looks pretty good. Works well, should be able to drain without getting oil all over the tank and the frame. I mean, what a mess. Gotta be a better idea. I don't know who thinks up these things. We did something a little different with the frame. This was actually from the pallet that this sat on. While it was on the pallet, I measured between the four legs. This Husky has 4 feet on it. We decided to use the pallet that the tank came on. It was 2-inch thick wood, it was hardwood, and raised it up a little bit. Put 2 layers of mud flap underneath it and bolted the frame to the floor. Just in 2 places. There's one there, there's one in the back. And lag bolted the tank to the frame. This way I could always take it off. A lot of times those nuts on those pins, sometimes you can't get them off. I've never had much success with those, so I can get the tank off easy. Now the holes for where the lag bolts were, they were a little bit bigger than the lag bolts. I didn't want to put 1/2-inch lag bolts. I bought 3/8-inch lag bolts, and I just stuck a little piece of 1/8 dowel in the holes, and that tightened it up. And it's pretty sturdy. One of my concerns was that my wife would hit it with the new car. It's a lot longer than the Jeep was. So I put in this. Drill holes in the floor. That's a tire stop. As soon as she touches that, she stops and she's fine. And it's got probably, I'd say probably about 6 inches away. And that gives me room also to get behind the vehicle to get around to my little tiny workstation over there. So that's the project I've been working on for the last 2 weeks, I say. And thanks for watching, and please subscribe.